You are dumb. Stolas is bad demon burb. He hates humans. Big burb no like humans. He want humans to go be dead. Stop being a dumb. Demons are bad. Do not love demon boy.
I think you need to be taught a lesson, you totally real Stolas hater you. A lesson in history. The Asgosha is a list of demons supposedly captured in a giant brass sphere by King Solomon, who forced them to divulge the secrets of the universe. All the demons of the Asgosha are linked with different kinds of knowledge and ways to attain them. Prince Stolas was no exception. He teaches astronomy, as well as astrology, and is knowledgeable about herbs, plants, and precious stones. He is one smart owl. If you haven't been living under a rock which in itself is underneath another rock just for good measure, you'll know that owls are often linked with wisdom and intelligence. In Asian cultures, owls are seen as embodiments of wisdom and knowledge. In ancient Greek culture, owls symbolized Athena, also called Minerva by the Romans, both being the goddess of wisdom. Stolas is no different. Even as a demon, he seeks knowledge of the world and existence. This does not end in the occult texts of old. Viv has ensured that characteristic has been carried over in his depiction in Hell of a Boss. You might be quick to judge Stolas for his seeming hatred of humanity. As a demon, this characteristic is expected. However, hatred of God's creations, or some sort of demon racial superiority, is probably not the biggest reason why Stolas despises humanity. Even as knowledgeable as owls in folklore seem to be, it should be stated that this does not mean they are necessarily peaceful. It is reasonable for deities to expect humans not to intrude into their domains, to try to take what is not theirs. The fabric of reality, the barriers between the living world and the world beyond, are there for a reason. Yet that does not stop humanity from attempting to bypass these barriers to attain vast amounts of power. If you have ever watched the show Avatar, The Last Airbender, you might remember a spirit known as Wan Shitong, the creator and guardian of a massive library where all knowledge of the world is stored. He brought his library into the mortal world so all may attain knowledge and better themselves.
Are you the spirit who brought this library to the physical world?
Indeed. I am Wan Shitong, he who knows 10,000 things, and you are obviously humans, which, by the way, are no longer permitted in my study.
What do you have against humans?
Humans only bother learning things to get the edge on other humans, like that firebender who came to this place a few years ago, looking to destroy his enemy. So, who are you trying to destroy?
Wan Shitong had watched as countless humans attempted to use knowledge in his library for conflict. The murder of a spirit was the last straw. He closed the library to humans. When Aang and his friends arrived, Wan Shitong took exception to them being as they were in the presence of the Avatar, the bridge between the living and spirit world. However, it was under the condition that the knowledge they used not be used for war. But when he found that they did, in fact, find knowledge that would help them beat the Fire Nation, he was outraged.
Mortals are so predictable, and such terrible liars. You betrayed my trust. From the beginning, you intended to misuse this knowledge for evil purposes. You think you're the first person to believe their war was justified? Countless others before you have come here, seeking weapons or weaknesses or battle strategies.
Wan Shitong did not care about the morality of the Avatar's mission to stop the Fire Nation. The affairs of the mortal world were not his. Whatever the humans did, Wan Shitong would ensure they would not use his knowledge to do so. This might seem like a selfish thing to do. But understand that, to a higher being, war is not their problem. But then why do they keep their knowledge a secret? Imagine you're a farming god. You haven't a single violent bone in your incorporeal body. You also make really good garden rakes. They're light, sturdy, and durable. Probably because they're made of a special superalloy that only you know how to make. But then a group of people break into your realm and steal a bunch of your rakes and your recipe for the alloy. Then they stuff the rakes in a cannon and blow up an orphanage. That's not what the rakes were meant for. Your creation is being used to sow chaos. and then another group of people create their own rake cannon and fire it at the people who blew up the orphanage. Their retaliation is justified, but it still goes against your wishes. Those rakes were never meant to be used in this way. Soon the entire world has built rake cannons and are poised to destroy the world with them. Like the Cold War, but with super garden rakes shoved in cannons. The world was not ready for the responsibilities that would come from obtaining your garden rakes. But they continue to create more and more in an effort to outdo one another. Humans always misuse their discoveries, be it nuclear energy or something as simple as a building's blueprint. For Stolas, humanity is like an infant. Like his brother and sister fallen angels and the angels born in heaven, humanity is also related to them. All descended from God. But unlike our immortal family, we are flawed. Very, very flawed. We're like that annoying little cousin who comes over during a family get-together who breaks all your things. Heaven is more forgiving, understanding that we are young and ignorant, but still tries to steer us away from danger, while hell only becomes angrier and angrier, wishing us gone so that they wouldn't have to deal with us. But why, you may ask, does hell care? If we destroy ourselves with things we were not ready to obtain, what problem is it to them? For the likes of Lucifer, there probably is no problem. They would love nothing more than for us to destroy ourselves. But Stolas is a pure-blooded, die-hard scholar, invested in the study of all things. That includes humans. Where Lucifer sees humanity as a cockroach infestation, Stolas sees humanity as cockroaches in the wild. Admit it, you've stepped on a couple ants purposefully because they're small and annoying, even if they weren't bothering you. So if, for instance, you needed an excuse to call your hitman imp boyfriend, you would use the deaths of insignificant creatures as your excuse. And that's what Stolas did in that flashback in the pilot. He had someone step on an ant just so he could talk to them. But if humans are so insignificant, why doesn't Stolas just get on board with killing them all, you may ask? Well, why do humans care when a certain species of rabbit is endangered from overhunting? Why do humans care if a tree species goes extinct? I'll tell you why. Because we like them. They provide some nice entertainment when we're suffering from
sheer, absolute boredom.
Also because the loss of said things might have severe consequences on the world's ecosystem and by extension, us. But how would the death of humanity affect hell? I'll tell you what it'd do. Fucking Armageddon.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Armageddon begins with hell's invasion of Earth and heaven's swift defense. Stolas may not think of humans as people, but he still doesn't want to start the end of all things. First of all, that would end his studies. Secondly, that would end hell. And thirdly, that would end his daughter. So yes, Stolas may see Blitz's shenanigans on Earth as a hillbilly with a shotgun popping hot lead into some of those pickpocketing monkeys. But that does not mean he thinks the monkeys need to be exterminated. Furthermore, those monkeys aren't stealing anything from hell. Not anymore anyway. Yes, there was a time where any old witch could summon Stolas and make him tell them the secrets of the mystical pathway to an expanded mind known as shrooms, but they don't do that anymore. Now drunken teenagers just sacrifice goats. Very badly. So humans aren't really those pickpocketing monkeys. More like chimpanzees that leave dead livestock on your porch, like cats. The point is, he doesn't give a damn if a few humans get killed. That's just his nature after being in hell for millions of years. Stolas is sort of like how Yusuf Tazim described the Ottomans in Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Ottoman soldiers have a special loathing for these Byzantine thugs. That gives us some breathing room.
How much?
Just a little. They'll still kill you if you look at them wrong. But they will feel bad about it later.
Touching.
But if saving humans was the key to keeping Octavia safe, he would do just that. And he may have to. This entire playlist explains why I believe Stolas knows something's coming. Something worse than an extermination. The Goishas used their divination to see the future, as is their task given to them by Lucifer for every month on the full moon. And at least some of them saw Armageddon fast approaching. Stolas was so sure it was on its way that he even sang to his daughter about the end of days to put her back to sleep. His and Hell's demise is not the issue. For him, it's ensuring she's spared. His millions of years of life have led up to this moment. The very few years he would raise Octavia and save her from the end. A story much like Charlie's quest for the redemption of damned souls. Except for Stolas, a redemption just for one. For Stolas, him being a demon, at one point being fully deserved, is now from association only. If he could be free from Lucifer and Hell, he would be. But he made a vow eons ago. One he cannot take back. His interests are his own. He despises having to use his knowledge for Lucifer, who, even as a fallen angel capable of understanding the power in the knowledge Stolas gives him, still takes it for granted. Sees it only as a means to ensure his supremacy. And if it is not to his liking, he refutes it. The end of times is coming and Stolas knows it. But Lucifer refuses to listen to what Stolas tells him. Yet he still demands Stolas do his job and predict the future. This absolute disrespect is already stressful enough, but Stolas also has a wife he doesn't love, a daughter who is being hurt by her parents' conflict and becoming distant, and Armageddon is still coming whether Lucifer believes it or not. He doesn't care about humans. He doesn't care about Hell. He doesn't care about Lucifer. He doesn't care about his own life. His knowledge, perhaps once used to learn neat party tricks or create poisons, is now the key to getting Octavia through Armageddon alive. Perhaps he sees a chance at just that by confiding in his niece, Charlie. The one Magne who won't turn him away and call him a fool and a failure. This is his motivation. This is his purpose. And I call upon my fellow Burb Daddy Stans to support this noble cause. To save his daughter, the one he loves more than anything. The one he pities for being born into a doomed world. His guilt is overwhelming, his depression mounting, but his purpose clear. To defy the forces of both heaven and hell to ensure his little girl's safety. He shall not worry for himself. He shall not worry for Hell. He has one goal, and that goal is to save Octavia. The divination is true. The world is doomed. The least we can do is support those from the depths of hell who shall not fight the coming storm, but embrace them, as to carry those they cherish through the blistering winds and harsh rains of pain and torment. To save those who deserve mercy. I for one shall not hate Stolas. His past is over. His present is now. Armageddon is coming. Whether by a foolish act of aggression by Lucifer or a preemptive attack by heaven, we shall stand with the cause of dear Daddy Hoot Hoot. And may Charlie have success in her mission. May redemption be found. The charming characters we love, may they be swift to be brought into the arms of mercy. From lowly flamboyant spider to the daughter of the devil himself.
Okay. But Stolas still doesn't like humans.
All right, listen here, you son of a